Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another early morning coffee talks. It's Friday. We made it through the first week of the year. For a lot of you guys, this is your Friday of your work week. I still have one more day. This is my Thursday. But it's just so crazy how this year is starting to just move quickly already. The gas is already being hit and we just taking off. It just literally feel like yesterday was New Year's. It feel like yesterday was Christmas. But that just let you know, man, time is gonna pass regardless, and what you do with it is important. With that being said, man, Toastmasters last night was awesome. I'm glad I went. Again, continuously to put the work in, to show up for myself, to show up for the promises and my commitments that I made. I want to say something from last night, man. This was so important. One of the speakers said he was sick and he almost canceled not coming to Toastmasters. But then he said, and I don't want to misquote his quote, but he said he had to remind himself on why he chose to come to Toastmasters, and that was to get better. And so even though he was sick, he still showed up. And that's what a lot of you guys got to understand. You have to continue to show up. But this is what I want to get into my message today, kind of related to that, right? Is when I was younger, I played a lot of video games for a short period of my time in my life. And, I love playing it. I'm an RPG type of guy. So I like games where it take a long time to like win, not just always like you play around like Call of Duty or something. And for me, I feel like Call of Duty versus like RPGs is the difference between like instant gratification and delayed gratification, right? And I feel like once I like beat the game and I wanted to play it again, I was like, man, I don't want to drag it out. So I was looking for a hack, right? I was looking for a cheat code, something to allow me to take a shortcut. And I think that's what's going on now in the world, man. That's going on with a lot of you guys out here. A lot of you husbands, a lot of you single guys. You want instant gratification. You want everything to work right now, versus the delayed gratification of putting in the work, kind of grinding, not always trying to figure out a shortcut or a hack or some type of cheat code. And this was part of my video yesterday. You can't skip the work, right? And so with not skipping the work, for a lot of you guys, skipping the work is instant gratification. But I think we already discussed that. But I'll say this, right? When it comes to instant gratification, most of the time it just provides like short-term pleasure, but it comes at the expense of long-term goals. Like for instance, right? We know that overspending for immediate wants versus savings for financial freedom, or like choosing junk food over like your healthy meals and aiming for your fitness goals. Again, it's the instant gratification versus that delayed gratification. You have to start understanding your choices. And again, me, my favorite line of 2024 is like, I'm not preaching to the choir because I've been there. And I'm still a work in progress myself. However, I'm conscious of it, right? And it's slowly but surely every day as you continuously use delayed gratification, you start to see the powerful results that come in. And for myself, I'm starting to see, my body change. I'm starting to see my energy level go up. I'm starting to see my focus starting to lock back in. And so for me, I'm noticing it, but it's not instant gratification, it's delayed gratification. Let's talk a little bit about delayed gratification, right? It's definitely about investing in your future self, right? This is going to build some discipline, some patience, and resilience in yourself. So think about it like this, right? You sacrificing now to build yourself up or build that business, right? You committing to a fitness routine or you focusing on your personal development. These are long-term strategies. You can't do these things overnight. Like, if you, like, when I got super overweight, I didn't do that in 1 week. I didn't do that in one day. That was years of continuously using instant gratification, pleasure in that moment, and not delayed gratification, which I'm doing now, which is using food not for pleasure, but for a fuel source. And so for me, you start to stack those things. And so you'll start to find out that, this is what they call delayed gratification, because you're not using it to feel good in that moment. You're using it to fuel you for your future. All right. So again, man, listen, it's one of those things where you have to choose your heart. This is a video I made a long time ago. This is something that, I always appreciate my wife would put me on, is you have to choose your heart, man, in these situations. Do you want the heart of, living in regret later? Or that's the delayed gratification, right? And the instant gratification is living your heart now. Again, up front, it may seem cool, but it's not, in the sense of the pleasures up front, but the reward at the end. So, but a lot of us, again, we live in a world of instant gratification. We can call Uber Eats right now versus having to go to the store. We have the Amazon versus going to the store. Even Kroger has their delivery service. And again, all these are great things, right? Now, if you are in a situation where you on your grind and you like, hey, how can I save time? That's one thing. You like, look, I can save an hour going to the grocery store because I need this hour to put in to my personal development. I need this hour to, learn something new, go to this class. That's different. But if you have the time, a lot of you still wanna call. And maybe it may be important for you to go to the grocery store. That way you can pick the right fruit that you want versus being, a bad fruit or something like that. And I'm coming up with some type of example, but I hope you get my point. Is you have to choose delayed gratification, man, if you want to have any type of success in this life. So, and again, to my video yesterday, you just can't skip the work. You just can't. So listen, set clear goals with your timelines, stay focused. Break the big goals into smaller goals. That way you can stay motivated versus, looking at this big mountain you have to climb. Just look at, the steps that it takes just to get there. I would say practice mindful decision making. Will this help me or will this hurt my future, right? That instant gratification versus that long-term gratification. And lastly, listen, you have to build the habits around delayed gratification. And that's going to create that momentum you need to be successful. And so, again, they're just things I'm learning over this I would even say short bit of time, which was a good reminder for me because, like I said, I was doing these things, but I wasn't conscious that I was doing these things earlier in my life. And so now, thank goodness I'm conscious of it. And now I can really put it to black and white on paper, and it can help me stay aligned. It's help me stay clear with, my goals or whatnot. So you guys got to make a decision, man. Do you want it now? Do you want it later? But getting it now, don't taste it sweet. It may feel like it is, but it's not. Trust and believe. It's gonna get you caught up in the game, man. So anyway, that's the message for today. If you got any value from this, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also hit a like on the video. Let's shoot this out to the internet. And also, hit the notification bell. I'm dropping videos like this every day. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.